Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, we'll get to the JRC in a moment. Brief disclaimer, real quick. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, pertinent links will be there in the description box for you. So, should you like to do a deep dive on the subject, you'll definitely be able to go ahead and do so. Trigger warnings, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. First off, I curse a lot. And of course, when we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of advocates, clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. So if you got a child that is 16 and younger and they watch this channel, parental supervision very much advised. Now, while I'm late, this would be why. This is what I've been working on today. I'm going to get it as close as I can so it doesn't look quite as dumb on camera. So, I'm very well known for doing a lot of abstract stuff. So I bought me this giant canvassing and some paint pens. So this right here, there's still a whole lot of small detailing that I have to do inside each of these shapes. This generally takes a few months, usually doing the detail work. I would cover the whole canvas, but this is huge, and I don't want this to take till Christmas next year. So I'm doing some vine work, like right here, working on this side, and this is going to be drying this side while I'm talking to you guys today. Once I get it finished, y'all are going to be forced to deal with my show and tell. Because I'm 5. Alright? Okay, so, where we left off last time, this is a new comment. It says this should be passed. It would push for much better care to be given to those who need it and not dehumanize patients. Y'all will probably look at me side-eyed, but that's fine. There's a certain detachment that you have to have if you work anywhere within healthcare. It doesn't matter whether you are on the truly more medical side, like my mom, or if you work for the state assisting folks like yourself with developmental disabilities who happen to be neurodivergent. Either way, there's a certain detachment that you have to have in order to be able to carry out your job. Because the reality is, whether mental health, dealing directly with people who are developmentally disabled, or anything else, first off, patients are going to come and go. It's number one. Number two, you may lose someone, whether it's to death or whether it is somebody gets in an accident, there may be a coma. You've got to have a certain level of detachment to be able to properly do your job. That's just part of it. If mom, remember she works in ERs, allowed herself to have her heart torn out every single time she's ever lost a patient, then she would never get any work done. When I worked for the state in my capacity as the advocacy specialist and resources during that 3-year time period, if I had lost someone to the point that it became a major detriment to be able to perform my job because of that emotional attachment, I'm not going to be able to get any real meaningful work done. So there's got to be at least some detachment from the individuals that you are working to help. What you don't have to do is to dehumanize them. And that is an entirely different animal. That means you don't treat the individual as though they are other. You don't treat the individual as though we're going to put you on this treatment that we would never put a normal person through because there would be torches and pitchforks, but we're going to use it on you. Yeah, you see where I'm going there, right? There's a very big difference. One acknowledges the fact that I am a human, but the person has to be able to have a certain level of clinical attachment to be able to perform their job to the best of their abilities. Dehumanization is othering me the second I set foot inside the door. It's talking down to me, or even not talking to me at all. But if I happen to bring another person in the room and another person is present, when they completely, utterly ignore you, and they either rule over you saying this is what we're doing without you being able to get a word in edgewise, or they don't even talk to you at all. They talk to the other individual in the room over you without even acknowledging your presence. That, my friends, is dehumanization. That's what they're referring to here. Okay? I want to make the two differences quite clear. Because the individuals who work in these fields, you can tell by watching me, we care. We care so damn much that, at least for me, it was impossible to not take my work home. In fact, I still continue to do that work at home these days, as you all well know. And, yeah, you gotta have a clinical detachment, yes, but you don't have to dehumanize, you don't have to other, you don't have to belittle, you don't have to be condescending, and you don't have to order us around as though we are toddlers. And if you do any of these things, you are dehumanizing us. And if you are prescribing a type of treatment program that you would never prescribe for a neurotypical because you're afraid of torch and pitchforks, use that as a sign that you should be not prescribing that kind of treatment method for us either. Our disability doesn't make us as though we are better able to handle pain. I know Dr. Israel said that. He's full of shit. I've been autistic 40 years, folks. Born autistic, raised autistic, and middle-aged autistic. I can freaking tell you. Okay? Just saying. I would know. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue on to the next comment here. Sorry. They slide down so easy. Alright. And this person says, I believe electroshock should never be used on a human being for any reason. There are situations, folks. Most things are situational. Most situations are never going to call for the level of horrific abuse that the JRC commences. People, it is horrific. Absolutely. But as I always instruct everyone constantly all the time, you need to be thinking with your head. Use your logic and reason. Or else we're no better than they are. This, of course, is the ASAN template. I'm not going to put you guys through all of that. Alright, we've got another clinical specialist and researcher. They said, in assessment and treatment of self-injurious behavior, I do not see any compelling evidence that electrical stimulation devices are necessary or acceptable. Therefore, I support this proposal. Fair enough. I like it straight and exactly to the point. I love it. Alright. And as these videos are a little shorter, we're going to do one more, and then we're going to go ahead and close on out here. So let me scroll down. Alright, Michael Bertrand also put in another comment. He says, I support a ban on electrical stimulation of devices intended for self-injurious or aggressive behavior. It is hard to believe that in the present time, any government, organization, or institution would even remotely consider such a barbaric measures on anyone or anything. Preach it. This is supposed to be 2025, people. Last time I checked, I was pretty sure that modern medicine had not approved the Spanish Inquisition treatment as a method of treatment for neurodivergence. Call me crazy, but I'm pretty sure that that hasn't been a thing, you know? Consider our special needs family members. Internal cringe. Can we please get rid of that term for the love of God? They're not special needs, they're just needs. This is the crap that gets us othered by everyone. It's a weird thing. They want us to pretend to be neurotypical all the time, and then they undermine us by constantly saying, well, this person is special needs. Like, bro, why the hell am I putting in all the work to fake being neurotypical and all the mental exhaustion and stress that comes along with it, for you to just completely undo all of it and say, you're othering me anyway, so what is the point exactly? Do these people even remember anymore? Othering is othering. You either want to stop it or you don't. You can't have your cake and eat it too. As long as you keep using these stupid ass terms, we're going to be othered, regardless of whether we can mask very well or not. You're cutting us off at the knees, so pick one. Second off, they're not special just because it's not a need that you need. Let me say that again. A need does not become special just because it's not a need that you have. Different people, different needs. I don't see you call anybody who has some very bizarre needs as special. So, if I need a little extra time to decompress after being forced to people, at a job or back in the day in school, why is that called a special need? Just for real? Let me go ahead and continue to read it, but still, that's just... Make more sense, people, for the love of God. I know I'm asking a lot, but a girl can dream, right? Fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, children, and grandchildren. Actually consider anyone with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They are literally being tortured by these devices at the Judge Rotenberg Center, which is the only place in the country that still utilizes these electrical devices, and I would assume cannot even defend themselves. Try me. I'm a military brat. I learned how to shoot at 10. I was taught self-defense starting about around the same age. You know, you can't defend yourself. Well, anybody who wants to try, you know, fuck around and find out. I've got like over 13 years of call center aggression pinned up. You know, just say it. Just say it is all. Additionally, there will be more likely be negative long and short-term medical consequences such as memory loss, among others, for God's sake. There is no reason the latest up-to-date advanced medical procedures and treatments can't be used to treat our fellow human beings. Preach. We're going to go ahead and close it on out on that one, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do get due to to get removed from time to time. So if you all would be so kind, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to get the comments, and double check to make sure you are still set up for notifications. We're going to be coming back Saturday with our Down the Rabbit Hole series, and on Sunday with the Snake Oil Salesman series. I don't want you to miss anything. I do appreciate your time, and as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I think it's dry now, and I can get the next vine in on this thing. Bye-bye, you all.